Dozens have been killed and many more injured in an horrific terrorist attack on Istanbul's Ataturk Airport, a major international travel hub. After Britain's historic vote to leave the EU, Prime Minister David Cameron shows no sign of taking action, despite EU leaders urging the UK to speed up the process of leaving the Union. Also,
it's time to move on.
Hillary Clinton urges to move on from the Benghazi scandal that has scarred her reputation as US congressmen release a report on the Libya attack that killed 4 Americans and an ambassador in 2012. Turning midday here in Moscow. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. We start this hour with breaking news. Dozens have been killed and more than 140 people injured in a shooting and triple suicide bombing attack at Istanbul's very busy Ataturk Airport. The following security footage, you'll see frightened people running in panic as shots are fired before the first explosion shakes the terminal. And a second video has emerged. You may find what you're about to see disturbing. We'll show you a gunman running through the terminal. He gets shot, falls to the ground. His machine gun slides across the floor. And after approaching the shooter, the airport security guard appears to see a bomb vest, and he runs for cover right before the detonation.
I saw wounded people falling to the ground in front of me. 4 people fell down. They were torn to pieces.
When I was in there, people were shooting on one side, and we all ran the other way. And then the bombs went off, and people started running the other way, and there's more shooting. And we came out, and after that, I think there's another bomb, but not really sure.
We were working in our office. I was on the night shift. First, we heard about 10 gunshots, then the first explosion. We left the office and tried to escape. Then a second bomb went off, and then there was chaos everywhere.
More on this, let's cross live now to RT's Paula Sliya in Istanbul now. Paula, you and me spoke last hour. You're at the Sabiha airport, the only way to get into Istanbul at the moment. What's the latest updates on this breaking news?
Well, yes, I'm here at the Selepas airport, which, as you mentioned, is the only way, at least was the only way in the early hours this morning. Particularly after Ataturk Airport was closed and all planes were diverted. I've been talking to passengers that were on the flight with me, many of them expressing relief that they've just been transferred through Istanbul. Here at the airport, people are concerned. Security is the same. It doesn't seem to have been stepped up, but certainly there's an atmosphere of anticipation, an atmosphere of fear. People very much telling me that they're very concerned about the general security situation here in Turkey at the moment. At the same time, there are
Paula, I'm so sorry, Paula. I do apologize for jumping in. Paula, I'm so sorry. The quality of the connection's just not good enough. We're going to patch a better connection to you and join you in just a moment. Paula, please stand by. Thank you. For the meantime, eyewitnesses have been posting videos from the airport. Here we can show you travelers hiding inside a clothes shop following the blasts. These pictures were shot several hours ago now outside the terminal. You can see injured people clearly being carried away. And anxious relatives are now waiting outside the city's hospitals for news on their loved ones.
Bir çözüm bekliyoruz. Çaresiz bak burada insanlar çığlık çığlığa. Dayanamıyoruz, duramıyoruz. Bir çözüm bekliyoruz. Sorumuz bulsun. Desinler ki sorun şu. Bir şey bekliyoruz ya. Can bu, can.
Ataturk Airport seems to have been targeted for its role as an important international travel hub. The attackers detonated themselves right at the entrance to the international terminal. Ataturk Airport is the largest in Turkey. It has 2 passenger terminals. In the past year, it served over 60 million passengers, making it the 11th busiest airport in the world and the 3rd biggest in Europe. Now, some commentators have pointed to similarities with the bombing at Brussels International Airport 3 months ago. In both cases, dozens were killed and many more injured in suicide attacks conducted by supporters of ISIL. And following the Istanbul blasts, world leaders expressed their condolences to Turkey, but also stressed that the threat from ISIL is a global threat.
Turkey has been severely struck, but other countries have also been struck, like Belgium, where we are now, as well as France and the UK. In this sense, the most important thing is to stay together and work together.
This is a reminder that Islamist terrorists seek to destroy, divide and kill Muslims as well as Christians and other people of non-Muslim faiths.
We received the news during the European Council meeting, and most of us agree this highlights the need for a strong and coherent response to the issues of international terrorism and extremism.
Ataturk International Airport, like Brussels Airport, which was attacked earlier this year, is a symbol of international connections and the ties that bind us together.
Ordinary people around the world have also been expressing their sympathy for the victims. Shortly after the attack occurred, the hashtag #PrayForTurkey began trending on Twitter, and some have voiced their frustration at the increased number of terror attacks on a global scale.
It's only June and I've lost count of how many Pray For tags have trended. What is happening to our world?
Paris, Brussels, Orlando, and now Istanbul. When will it stop?
The state rose to prominence 2 years ago, and since then has carried out regular deadly assaults right in the heart of Europe. The tragedy at Ataturk Airport has caused shockwaves to go around the world. Security is tightened at U.S. airports that operate flights to Istanbul. Dozens of flights were cancelled. Flights between the USA and Istanbul are now operating again. A former U.S. diplomat, Jim Jatras, says the latest atrocity has security implications for worldwide air travel.
This is a major global hub. It throws a monkey wrench into air travel around the world, not just for Turkey. So I'm sure they will try to move as expeditiously as possible while eliminating any secondary attacks that may be lurking. What all this implies, unfortunately, is that, in a sense, this has become the new normal, not only talking about Orlando or San Bernardino or Paris or Brussels and now Istanbul, that there clearly is a vulnerability in European societies, and Turkey, of course, Istanbul is in Europe, that there is a vulnerability, and that door is still open, and they're worried about how to close it. And I am sure this is not going to be the last attack of this sort.